Oh, yes! What's up, everybody? What's up? Today we're gonna look at this beautiful computer that looks like it was back in 1995. Just look at this. No rust, no corrosion, no nothing, no dust. It looks amazing. It looks like 1995. It looks like pure MS-DOS happiness. It looks like a brand new machine, man. Look at this. Look at this beauty. Wow. Absolutely wow. Woohoo. Everything is just so cool. Wow. Absolutely wow. I love this one. It's called I Will P55 TV Lite 512K. As you can see here, it says P55 TV version 1.21. Beautiful looking motherboard. Looks like brand new. It's magic. Can you imagine? It's almost 2023 and this board looks like this, smells like this, feels so beautiful. Just take a look at it. It hasn't been recapped. Everything is just original. Everything is just fine looking. It's a socket 7 board. I mean, socket 7 is just my dream MS-DOS machine with a 120 megahertz Intel Pentium 1 CPU. Absolutely beautiful stuff. Now, my first PC was a 486 DX4 100 megahertz with 4 megabytes of RAM. Because of Doom, I could run Doom if I had to go in and change autoexec bad configs, mem maker, but I upgraded to 8 megabytes of RAM and I could run Doom easily and then Command and Conquer, and it was just so awesome. And then my friends got Intel Pentium 1 systems, 75 megahertz, 100 megahertz, 120 megahertz, and they could just beat my 486. So when I got back into this hobby back in 2018, when I created my YouTube channel, I got myself a 486. I didn't like it because it's on your motherboard. If you want ID controllers, you have to buy another card that has controllers. Everything you have to upgrade with another IO card. Then I found out about the Pentium 1 system. As you can see, most Pentium 1 generation motherboards, these beautiful socket 7 boards, floppy drive is on board, IDE and CD-ROM drives are on board, COM port, parallel port, keyboard. I think this is the header for the mouse, PSU connector. It has got 5 ISA slots, and I just need one for the audio card. For MS-DOS gaming, ISA audio is amazing. Okay, so we need one for that, and I need a PCI slot. We have got 3 here for a decent graphic card. Nothing 3D, nothing like that, but a graphics card that gives beautiful 2D graphic, solid 2D graphic for MS-DOS gaming, but also at least 1 megabyte RAM and the opportunity to run sub SVGA. Because in a game like Settlers, you could run in VGA, but when you switch to SVGA, if your graphic card was capable enough, wow, man, it felt amazing back then. It was so cool. So my MS-DOS gaming is from the early 90s. I think the oldest MS-DOS game that I know of is Civilization 1, which is from about 91. Then, 92, June to 93, that's my MS-DOS gaming era. I don't know, and I'm not interested in playing games from the, 85 with, EGA, Hercules, CGA graphics. No nostalgic love, I don't need it, I'm not interested. So this is my era of gaming, I love it. So all the sockets are on the motherboard. We got LE chips, we got LE chip here, we got Intel here. It says Intel PCI set, and oh my sweet mother of candy flush, we got the BIOS here, we got the battery over here. When we insert different megahertz CPUs. We have got a jumper here. Now the jumper is at 120 megahertz and it can go on a range from 75 to 200 megahertz of speed setting. Isn't that simple? Isn't that beautiful? Now we're not done yet. It can have the old Edo RAM. As you can see here, we have 2 RAM blocks and they are called from Zytec, 72 pin, 60 nanoseconds, 32-bit, 8 megabytes of RAM, and they look pretty identical. So this board came with 16 megabytes of RAM. Now, how is that great for MS-DOS? Yes, it's perfect for MS-DOS with 16 megabytes of RAM. You have the option to put in SD-RAM. They're much more available, easier to get today, and I think the maximum threshold for MS-DOS is 64 megabytes. So maybe if I want to play some games on my CD-ROM drive, I could remove these and put one 64 megabyte of RAM block in there. BIOS chip, the CR2032 battery for the BIOS chip that has been removed for years back. Super nice. Socket 7, and as we read here, this is a 512 kilobyte of cache, and my guess will be these 4 here would be the cache RAM. Isn't it beautiful? And IO headers for power on, hard disk LED activity, and so on. So simple, beautiful, awesome, super nice motherboard. I love everything about it. Let's put it in the case. Now, guys, we could run this as a 120 megahertz Intel Pentium 1 CPU, but we're not going to do that. We're going to take that one out. This beautiful CPU. I mean, this generation, it was so good. We're gonna upgrade it from 120 megahertz to this one. This one runs at 166 megahertz. The important part is, as you can see here, it says Intel Pentium. But here it says Intel Pentium with MMX technology. It had much more instructions. It could do much more. These came out at the start of 3D gaming era. So let me see here, 2.8, and it runs at 166 megahertz of speed, and it has got MMX technologies included, which is super awesome. I mean, why not? Oh, look at this beauty. Yes. And back then, cooling wasn't the biggest, it wasn't an issue, so it was just all clean, and here all clean, and they just ran like this. So this cooler, just check out this little notch and it will come on here, and it sits rock solid with these small clips. Isn't it just beautiful? Just look at this. It has got these hinges. You just put it down there, and then you just slide it in. Just take care of the keyboard connector there. I will just hold it, and you just slide it into place. That's it, guys. Isn't that beautiful? So when you want to work with this, how cool was it to just slide off the whole motherboard on one big metal plate? I mean, back in the 90s, I mean, the engineers, they were just, I mean, it's heavy, it's just fits. Perfect, man. I love this. Look at this beauty. So simple as that. I don't take notes. And the motherboard is installed. Isn't that just great? So next part is installing these connectors that's here on the back of the case here, for the parallel port, for the PS2 mouse, for the COM ports. Just beautiful done. Let me just connect everything. Next part in the installation is this beautiful PSU. All original, never been opened, not recapped, no nothing. We're gonna go with it. Just make sure that when you install this on the motherboard, that the black and black wire touches each other and not the other way around, okay? Other than that, standard for the floppy drive, for the hard disk. And as you can see here, this is an AT system, not ATX. So when the power is on, it's on, and off, it's off. So when we got Windows 95, it said, right, if you said shut down, it says now it's safe to shut down your system, and you had to press manually to shut everything down. So this beauty is gonna be installed right now. It looks, feels, smells like brand new, man. This is 1995 all over again. It's just absolutely wow. No matter how you look at it, everything is just shiny and beautiful and good looking, and I'm just so in love with this. This one has been assembled and approved by LJ back in 1997. Wow, man, wow. Nice. All right, the CPU is installed. Power for the cooler on a cable, and from that cable to the CD-ROM drive. Both CD-ROM drive has power now. The floppy drive has power now. The hard disk is not installed, so this one is this cable is for the hard disk. This loose cable is for power on for testing. When I bought this computer years back, it was boxed. It wasn't this condition. It was very expensive purchase for me, but as the seller said, it has been on storage all its life. It looks like brand new. You will never find nothing like this again. And I mean, he's probably right. No corrosion, no rust, no, nothing. Where? How can I find? I mean, I have other MS-DOS machines, but nothing that looks like this. With this purchase, it actually came with this card. Now, maybe everything is burned and dead, or maybe it works. I have absolutely no idea. Nothing is tested. One thing that I haven't done is I haven't installed the power cables, because I'm gonna turn on this PSU first, and I'm gonna make sure that it gives proper 5 volt and 12 volt before I power the motherboard, of course. But yeah, it came with this S3 Verge DX graphics card PCI. So we're gonna install that, and it's S3 375W 4MB graphic card. Now a card like this is beautiful for MS-DOS gaming with 4MB of RAM. Beautiful. So let's go ahead and install it. I'm gonna test the PSU, and I'm gonna, and if the voltage is perfect, I'm gonna turn this PC on for the first time for 30 years. Okay, we're ready to power down for the first time for the last 30 years. 3, 2, 1, boom test. All right, so we have power now. The fan for the CPU is running. The motherboard has not been connected. So when you want to do a test like this, it's a great idea to put some sort of load. And I have put the both optical drives. It's powering them. It's powering the floppy drive, because easy replaceable parts. But it could be a nice to set a hard disk on, so it had some resistance. But can you see the PS? Can you see the readings over there? So let's test over here first and see how the 5 volt is stable at 5.38. That's beautiful. That's totally acceptable for this for PSU from 1997, guys. Not recap, no nothing, not cleaned. Oh, it smells like new computer now with the fan going. Beautiful stuff, man. I love it. So let's check out the 12 volt also. I hope that it's not 14, but 12. Yeah, 11.67. I mean, I am totally ready to give this beautiful motherboard some power and see what's gonna happen. So if you look down here, I did put it on 166 megahertz, and over here, let me see, yeah, over here it was at 3.38 and I put it down on 2.8. So the voltage and the speed should be fine according to this CPU. So here we don't need a battery to turn it on. So I just hope everything works. Let's give it some power and see what's gonna happen. All right, we are ready for the boom test. The PSU works fine. Let's see what the motherboard does. The monitor is on, so we're just gonna give it some power now. And the CD-ROM drives are making some shaking up sounds. The LED is on the motherboard, but the screen shows us absolutely nothing. Darn it! It doesn't work. Okay, I will put in the old CPU and its values again. Maybe it's my new CPU is dead. Maybe it's a dead graphic card. Maybe we have some RAM issues. Maybe the motherboard is dead. Let me just take a look at it and I'll be back. Sometimes it's actually a good idea to insert the built-in speaker here, but because the motherboard, if it works, it can give some signals of what's going on with some beep sounds. Now I removed one of the RAM blocks and I took the other one out, just cleaned it and put it in again. So I'm checking the RAM for now and I put in the speaker, so let's see if it says something. Oh, what does that mean? We have a manual we can look at, of course, but yeah. Okay, further inspection. Guys, I took out the graphic card. I inserted another one. Nothing. I'm gonna turn it on. Nothing on the screen. Took out the BIOS chip. Legs looks like new. Put it in. Nothing. Put in this CPU, adjusting the voltage to this, megahertz to this. Nothing. I have a lot of RAM from my Amiga 4000s. I replaced RAM and I put in two 8 megabyte RAM at bank 0. I read the manual that this one needs two RAM blocks. As soon as I did that, the beeping sound just disappeared. When I put in the old RAM, it beeps. When I put these new RAM, it stops beeping. I also put in a one SD-RAM, 64 megabytes, and it didn't beep. So RAM issue is okay, I think, but still, I mean, it should. If everything worked, then I should just give it power, and it should give me one beep sound, and it gives absolutely nothing. Removed these COM port cables, everything, so it has got power, graphic card, 16 RAM, 8.8, and the CPU, and the jumper is at 120 megahertz. The CPU is 120 megahertz. It needs 3.3 and it gets 3.3. So, and no beep sound now. The BIOS battery is not installed, but I don't think it needs a battery to run. I'm out of ideas. What do we have here? Do I have two dead CPUs? I haven't tested this. I haven't tested that one. or do I have a dead motherboard? Now usually when you look at these SMC soldering joints, if they're dark gray, then you have some sort of leakage from the battery. But each and one of these SMD caps, they are just bright chrome, no sign of leakage. Of course the caps can be dead. I mean, a recap is probably a good idea, but do you guys have any other ideas, or is this board just this board that looks like a brand new board, guys? Is it dead? So this will be the end of part 1, because as of right now I need some ideas. Oh, it's no, nothing. The CPU doesn't even get hot. So if you have some ideas, guys, let me hear it from you. What should I look at, or is it dead? It can be. So let me hear down on the comments what you do think, guys, about this, because I really like the system. I really wanted to run, but yeah, if I remove one of the RAM blocks, then it will say hello. There you can see. So the beeper is on. It is active. Yeah, it's odd, man. It's sad, because my plans was installing DOS in this computer and have some great gaming and enjoy this beauty. But yeah, as you can see, no beep now. So it's not a RAM. I don't think it's a RAM issue, but it is something. The CPU doesn't get hot. We have no picture, no beep sounds. And when I insert the other CPU, it's exactly the same. The other CPU needs a bit lower voltage, 2.8. That's over here, and the jumper, I did set it on 166 there, but it's on 120 now because it's a 120 CPU. Help me, guys. Let's fix this beauty. Thank you for watching. I wish you all a great day out there. Bye.